co-sponsored by Tyson. And you see him come to rest down on the inside of the track.
Pit stop should be the order of the day here. It'll be the first time for these drivers to be able to get on the pit road, and some of the drivers who wanted to make those adjustments will have a chance to do so right now. As Tommy Ellis, we would expect to see Tommy Ellis and some of the others come in and make their pit stops. John Kernan mentioned they could make it on one fuel stop. They actually could run about 110 to 12 laps on fuel, but fuel really isn't the question here, as they are still picking up the parts and pieces of the Chevrolet. That's the Mike Swaim-owned car that Morgan Shepherd was driving. Now, Morgan is signed to drive that car for 16 Busch Series events. This will be his third start in the car. Ran real well, finished fourth up at Nazareth, Pennsylvania in his first outing in this machine. Did not run nearly as well at Charlotte. And now pit stops as the field single file down pit road for their first caution flag pit stop of the day. Let's check in the Michael Walter pit. Let's check in the pits with John Kernan.
We're waiting on Michael Waltrip. He looked like the crew was out ready for him to come down, but he didn't make the hard left-hand turn to the pit. Tommy Ellis, though, is in. Remember, that car was just a little bit loose, and so they'll put on some new rubber, 2 new tires, and Tommy is now out and away, but we're still waiting for Michael Waltrip. The crew doesn't feel like they're expecting him to come in right now.
John, if they didn't come in that first time around, I think their plans are to stay out there and only make one pit stop during the race. They want to get a little bit closer to that halfway point before they do that.
A couple of cars getting caught behind others in the pits, very congested on pit road. Michael Waltrip electing to stay out. Tommy Ellis getting 2 tires, which is the rule here in Busch Series racing. Under caution for the first time today. Stay tuned. We'll be back.
Can your motor oils survive the punishment today's engines dish out? Circulating it twice as fast, working it twice as hard, breaking it down and causing it to lose its viscosity. That's why you need an oil with the additive that does more to help prevent viscosity breakdown. Castrol XLR, the oil engineered for today's car.
Everyone knows just how difficult that last drop is to get out of the bottom of a cup. Same thing holds true getting that last drop of fuel out of a gas tank at Dover. Pretend this is a full fuel tank. You see what happens when you set it in the bank at Dover? All the fuel runs to the left side of the gas tank. That's why the teams have to use a fuel pickup something like this. When the car goes in the corner, all the fuel runs to the right side, goes in this box. There's a small flapper valve in here to make sure that the fuel doesn't run out, because the straightaways are banked enough that the gasoline will go over to the left side of the car, therefore not picking it up. Everyone uses this box at Dover. If you don't use it, you could run out of fuel prematurely. But the problem with this box is there's no warning. When you're out of fuel, it's all over. Hey, Pam, next time, let's use milkshake as a prop, okay?
Yeah, Benny could use a little milkshake.
Yeah, I guarantee you, talking about Pam Miller, our pit producer, chose water over milkshakes. It's amazing. It's a wonder you let her get away with that.
Can you imagine she comes carrying me up a glass of water and says, suck on this, big boy.
Oh, well, one guy who may be sucking some gas late in the afternoon is Michael Walter, who didn't pit. Let's find out why from John Kernan.
Well, Jerry, Michael is very happy with the way the car is handling right now. He says the tires are fine. They're not going away. So they have elected to make it to the halfway point before they change tires and also take on their final load of fuel. So their strategy is just one stop for today, and they hope it's the one that takes them down the pit road into victory lane.
Michael Waltrip didn't pit. Thank you, John. There's Michael still leading here in the Country Time Kool-Aid Pontiac, along with others that didn't pit. Of course, the car number 33, a good run here. That, of course, the efforts for Dick Trickle and Jeff Burton, the young rookie driver. Those are the front 3 cars. And you see the Morgan Shepherd Texas Pete Chevrolet being pulled back behind the wall. We're early on here at Dover, Delaware in the Budweiser 200. Stay tuned. We'll be back.
Hi, I'm Bob Vila. You know, for years I've been helping people turn average homes into their dream houses, like Dave and Marianne Corbett. They love this place, but they can still see room for improvement.
That's right, Bob. You know, for one thing, the kitchen, it's too dark.
Maybe some track lighting would help.
Oh, that's an idea.
We're also thinking of putting new tiles in here.
Hey, that's a great idea. They'll stand up to all kinds of wear and tear. Most people don't realize how easy it is to transform a home and increase its value with a few simple projects. All it takes is a little imagination, a little hard work, and the right tools, including the Home Repair and Improvement series from Time Life Books. These books will help you with practically any home improvement job. From cutting new bathroom tiles, to laying them, to sealing the grout, clearly written step-by-step instructions and diagrams guide you through every phase of your project. Even if it's as involved as rewiring for new lighting or replacing a sink, these books can give you all the help you'll need. Well, Dave, I can see you guys have done a lot in the past couple of weeks.
That's right, Bob. I've added the new track lighting.
We even built this island.
The place looks terrific. You've done a great job. To order your first book, Kitchens and Bathrooms, just call this toll-free number for a free 15-day examination. Other books will follow, one about every other month, on the same free trial basis, like plumbing, adding on, and walls and ceilings. So what do you two have planned next?
Well, in the living room...
We're planning to turn one wall into an entertainment center.
Time Life's Home Repair and Improvement series can even help you with that. Remember, your home is your single biggest investment. With a little effort, a little imagination, and a little help from Time Life Books, you can make sure it keeps on growing in value.
To examine kitchens and bathrooms free for 15 days, call 1-800-858-5900. Keep it and pay just $14.99 plus shipping and handling. And when you do, you'll get this handy 12-foot Stanley tape measure free. So call 1-800-858-5900. That's 1-800-858-5900.
Back at Dover, Delaware for the Budweiser 200, 56 of 200 laps complete. Michael Waltrip showing the way. He did not pit, neither did Dick Trickle or Jeff Burton. Tommy Ellis did come in for 2 tires, as did Harry Gant, who is running in 5th. 6 through 10, Bobby Labonte, Mark Martin, good run for that car. The 4, Jack Sprague, Ernie Irvin making his way to 9th spot, and Ronald Cooper is 10th. Safety car still has the field in tow. And there's Bobby Scruggs holding the one finger up. Now, when he holds the finger up, it indicates that it's a double file restart. The finger down means a single file restart, meaning that they have not begun to lap the cars. Car number 33 being driven today by Dick Trickle. That car is owned by John Farrow, who has a truck stop up in Shippensburg, Pennsylvania. But the story there is a sponsor on the car. On the hood of that car, it says Chicken Lounge, Allentown, Pennsylvania. That's owned by Glenn Miller, not the orchestra leader, but the fellow who owns the Chicken Lounge up there. And they are big ESPN fans, and the people have piled into the Chicken Lounge today. Reserved seats were being sold to watch the big screen television telecast of the Budweiser 200. And they have their car in 2nd spot right now as the fast cars move to the inside. Dick Trickle has an Oldsmobile. Car number 33 in 2nd behind Michael Waltrip, who's wiggling back and forth along with Dave Resendez, the lap car on the outside, as we get set to go to green.
The Kenny Wallace car, number 36, on the outside of Trickle. He just went a lap down before the caution came out. We're showing, I think, 20 cars in the lead laps and green flag waves.
Mike Waltrip pulled down to the bottom of the racetrack, but we'll keep an eye back in the field as Tommy Ellis and Harry Gant and some of the drivers who did pit for fresh tires should be making their way to the front in a hurry.
Yeah, the new tires should help them some, Jerry. We'll see as they get sort of strung out here.
Bobby Moon in the car number 85. That's Jeff Burton, the car number 12.
He's running in 3rd place.
And Tommy Ellis now on the inside. That's the black car coming at you with the big goo-goo clusters on the hood. That's the Buick.
He's running 4th. Harry Gant in the car number 7, the green car, running in 5th place.
Jeff Burton, car number 12. That's the new Armored-sponsored car, the Sam Arnone machine, the 2-time former Busch Series champion. And Ellis really coming in now on the youngster, Jeff Burton. You got to wonder, if the cars are getting this loose early on, why wouldn't Mike Waltrip want to come in and pit, or Dick Trickle, 2 veteran drivers?
Track position, Jerry. Michael Waltrip is very comfortable leading this race. As John Kernan reported from the pits, his tires feel good. He has enough fuel to run for another 50, 60 laps. He does not want to start behind those other cars.
Michael Waltrip has pulled away, and Dick Trickle is trying to hold on. There's the car number 30 of Waltrip. Trickle about 6 or 7, making about 10 car lengths back now. But Tommy Ellis Let's take the interval between Michael Waltrip and the Tommy Ellis car. 1.8 seconds. There's Ellis's car, just behind the lap car of Dave Resendez. Let's see what the fresh tires are doing for Tommy Ellis. He's having a little trouble now with some of the lap cars, so Ellis wants to keep that car on the bottom of the racetrack, but Resendez has that groove covered.
That's the problem that Tommy is going to have. That's exactly why Michael Waltrip wanted to stay out. Exactly. Because look at all the trouble that Tommy Ellis is having getting by Resendez. Michael Waltrip had no problem. He was able to put in second gear and drive away.
And you can use those new tires up in a hurry, too, trying to get around someone. However, now Tommy has moved around, and it opened the door for Harry Gant in the Buick number 7, the Skoll Buick, to move around Dave Resendez as well.
Now with clear traffic, we'll probably be able to get an interval that we can be able to use, and we'll see if Tommy Ellis, with those new tires, is gaining on Michael Waltrip.
It probably widened a little bit since the last lap when we clocked them.
It was 2.2 seconds. Now it's 2.3, and Ed, you're indeed correct. Now Tommy Ellis has some clear racetrack to try to get that Buick back toward the front. There comes Waltrip, Trickle, and Tommy Ellis and Harry Gant.
And I'll bet that Tommy Ellis will close in a little bit this lap. We'll see.
Mike Waltrip hugging that bottom group, Ned, and Trickle has the left tires on that white line. We'll check the interval one more time. Waltrip and Ellis. 2 seconds to Steve DeRighty. 3/10 of a second that time by.
Now you can see it on the racetrack that he has just closed it up a little bit. But he's going to have to drive awfully hard to get up there where Michael Waltrip is, and by the time he gets there, he might have used the newness off of those tires.
Exactly, Ned. That's exactly right. And he's going to have trouble getting by Dick Trickle in this white 33 car. I mean, Trickle's not just going to let Tommy Ellis and Harry Gant drive by. They're going to have to work to get by. Yeah, 1.8, so he's gained 2/10 of another second. But Michael Waltrip just sitting up there feeling good. It was good strategy on Michael and his crew's part.
Ronnie Silver, the veteran crew chief for Michael Waltrip, calling the shots there in the pits. Take a look back here, this battle, to car number 12, Jeff Burton, and that is the Bobby Labonte car number 44, and the one, of course, is Mark Martin, 5th, 6th, and 7th place.
Now remember, Jeff Burton in the car number 12 did not stop. Bobby Labonte did in the car number 44, and so did Mark Martin. So they have new, fresh tires on the outside. And here's Labonte working on Jeff Burton, the Armor Meats Buick number 12.
And we'll update you on Morgan Shepherd that he did climb out of that car. A lot of the people watching back in North Carolina who are big Morgan Shepherd fans, he is okay, we are told, that release from the NASCAR officials, and that's good news. Morgan did hit that wall a ton up in turn 2 in the Texas Pete Chevrolet.
Yeah, I don't think Sanja's here today, so she's watching back in Conover, North Carolina, she and their daughter Shanda. So Sanja Morgan is okay, according to the NASCAR officials.
The Armor Meats car, the Sam Ard machine with Jeff Burton aboard trying to hold off. He's moved up on the racetrack and given an open. Bobby Labonte, the pole sitter. The car number 44 is Bobby Labonte. And Labonte just can't quite. Yes, he does on the inside now in turns 1 and 2. They're door to door.
But Burton has a little momentum on the high groove. He's able to get a little bit more power up there because, again, the car turns a few more RPMs as we move higher on the racetrack. But
now Tommy Ellis has caught the Dick Trickle machine, and Ellis will begin to try to make his move. Trickle did not win 1,100 short track races by moving over and waving people by. He has not done that for Tommy Ellis. Ellis will have to work to get by this veteran driver.
Yeah, he thought he had a chance coming off of turn 2, but it didn't quite work. Trickle's car stand down pretty good to have tires that have already run 70 laps on them.
Dick Trickle drove a Busch Series race last week at Charlotte, looked to have the strongest car in the field and possibly did have the strongest car in the field, but on the last lap, Dale Jarrett made the move inside of Trickle to take the win by a scant 3 feet at the finish line. Trickle now driving the John Farrow Oldsmobile here for the first time this year. There's a look at Dick Trickle, the 48-year-old veteran, and Tommy Ellis, former Busch Series national champion here in 1988.
Well, I'll tell you, you got 3 of the greatest short track drivers in the country running together there. Dick Trickle, Tommy Ellis, and Harry Gant. I say short track, those fellows can drive on any racetrack.
we're in a 1-mile speedway, the Dover International Speedway, and they're doing a pretty good job. I think Tommy Ellis had better make up his mind. If he's, Trickle almost loses the car, gets it sideways, gives Ellis the advantage he needs, pulls alongside.
A little tire smoke out of the Oldsmobile for Dick Trickle, and that may mean the tires are given up. Tommy Ellis makes the move on the inside. Tommy Ellis, is this track the monster mile everyone thinks it is? I mean, this track awfully tough to a lot of drivers. Is it really the monster here that everyone says it could be?
Well, you know, I can only speak for myself. This is my favorite speedway. I'd rather come here than any other speedway we go to. It's been good to me. I adapted real well to this racetrack the first time I ever raced the Busch Car here. I ran it second or third, I can't remember, but I like it. And to me, even 500 miles in a Winston Cup car, I'm just suited to me on my style of driving because it doesn't wear me out.
You know, he just mentioned he finished second or third. He didn't remember which. Folks, that tells you what it is to win and how important it is to win. They say nobody ever remembers who runs second. The fellow who runs second don't remember who runs second.
Yeah, he didn't know if he ran second or third. If he won it, he would have known.
He would remember.
Yep.
And Tommy Ellis, just for the record, has finished second here twice in Busch Series competition.
And he's running second right now. Michael Waltrip still out in front of him. Maybe we can get the clock going here in a little bit and see after that battle with Dick Trickle, did he lose to Michael Waltrip, or where does he stand?
Well, Dick Trickle's car beginning to fade a little bit. You got to wonder if his tires are going away. Showing the car still bobbling a little bit in the corner. How about it, John Kernan? What's the deal with Dick Trickle's car?
Well, Jerry, the concern with Dick Trickle's fit is that his tires are beginning to go away. They're asking him to nurse it around and try and make it to the halfway point because they still want to do this race with only one stop.
Back to the pack, Tommy Houston and Ronald Cooper. Ronald Cooper in the car number 56 and Tommy Houston in the car number 6.
They're running 10th and 11th, Jerry.
And Steve Grissom, car number 31, who's had a good second half of the season here. Grissom only had one top 10 finishes in the first 7 races. Then they hired the veteran Steve Bird as a crew chief, and they have had 4 top 10 in the last 5 events. That's
Jerry, excuse me. Go ahead. As you
car number 31 of Steve Grissom.
As you were speaking, Rick Mast has come into the pits in the Raven Boats Buick. So an unscheduled pit stop for Rick Mast. He was having some problems and had dropped back in the field, but now he is in the pits. Here he is, still in the pits. And let's go down to the pits and John Kernan.
Well, as we said earlier, Rick had thought he had lost the cylinder. Whenever he came down the track just a few laps ago, his car sounded very, very sick. Sounded like it was only running on about 5 cylinders, so he's in the pit now. It looks like they're pushing him back and getting ready to end Rick Mast's day. Now, Tommy Ellis, as I just see going into turn 1, a lot of smoke coming from his car.
Tommy Ellis having a problem. You can see the smoke rolling from the Goo Goo Buick.
A lot of trouble for Tommy Ellis. Tough break for the 42-year-old driver from Richmond, Virginia. The Hunter racing engine having its trouble there, and the car had really been making its move. Tough break for Tommy Ellis.
You know, who knows what, with all that blue smoke coming out, there is some speculation from some of our spotters that he might have burned a piston. It's unusual that the car would run this far and have a piston problem, but he might have been turning it a little bit too much and trying to catch that 30 car. He just might have burned a piston. John Kernan, what do you think?
Well, Tommy has said on the radio he feels that they had leaned the carburetor out too much, and he has indeed burned the piston. And he's now coming down and pulling into the garage area, so a tough break for Tommy Ellis from the outside pole sitter.
Tommy Ellis, who was 5th overall in the Busch Series point standings, will lose some valuable ground today to current point leader Chuck Bound. 82 laps complete here. Michael Waltrip showing the way in the Budweiser 200. We'll be back after this.
In Canada, the male will try to entice the female by staging a colorful display. It's called strutting your stuff. Molson Canadian, the clean, cold taste of a genuine Canadian beer. What beer's all about.
At McCain, we wanted to tell you right on the pack about our new, improved, easier, faster, bigger, thicker, juicier, flame-broiled, 100% pure beef burger with crispier, more golden fries, but it just wouldn't fit on the outside. But on the inside, the McCain new, improved, easier, faster, bigger, thicker, juicier, flame-broiled, 100% pure beef burger with crispier, more golden fries fit just fine and tastes better than ever. McCain Superfast Microwave Burger and Fries, now better than ever.
Back at Dover, Delaware here, we are lap 85 of the 200 laps which comprise the Budweiser 200. Michael Waltrip showing the way in his Pontiac. Michael Waltrip, currently our leader. Harry Gant runs in second place, but the man that they was going to chase all day, they thought, who may have the strongest car, is now behind the wall, standing with our John Kernan.
Tommy, a very disappointing end to the day. I know you're expecting a strong run here. You like to run here. What happened?
Well, the Cougar Cluster Buick was really running good. We burned the piston. I guess this is the end of the season. There's no way we can win the points now. Really depressed and dejected for the whole team and Standard Candy Company and everybody that works for them. I'm sorry I let you down. We tried, and we just come up short.
A very dejected Tommy Ellis calling it a day.
You know, I disagree with him, John, on that situation, that this is the end of the season for him. There's a lot of races left on this Busch Grand National Tour this year, and I know how it looks to a driver at a moment like this when he fell out and the people that he's chasing in the points still out there running good. But there are a lot of races left, and you can bet your bottom dollar that Tommy Ellis and his crew are not going to give up.
As soon as he gets home and has a good night's rest, tomorrow morning he'll change his mind completely. He'll be on Monday morning, he'll go in the shop and say, okay, guys, let's go win this thing.
I think wife Brenda will tell him, said, hey, you got to remember, there are 18 races left to go in this 31-race season, and Tommy Ellis will certainly be a factor before it's over.
Here again, Jerry is closing up on Michael Waltrip. He looks like he's about less than a second behind him.
Of course, he was right on Tommy Ellis's bumper when Ellis blew, and Ellis was gaining on Michael Waltrip. So now Gant has just picked right up there, and with those fresher tires on the outside, working to his advantage.
Michael Waltrip showing the way, and Harry Gant is in second spot. Gant closing on Waltrip, but there are a lot of cars still on the track trying to compete here as we're just approaching the halfway. We'll do our field snapshots. We hold the camera in one position, and you get to see your favorite car and driver come by. The start-finish line there is the big Bud sign with Bobby Scruggs atop the flag stand. We'll have the lap clock there on Michael Waltrip on his back straightaway lap as he is now in the backstretch on this lap. Cars coming by.
Kenny Wallace car, Bobby Moon automobile. Jack Ingram.
And there's the Michael Waltrip car coming by back to turn one. Again, is closed to about 8 or 9 car lengths as they're going to be moving in on heavy traffic.
26.2 the elapsed time, which is a little over a second slower than they qualify, but that's still pretty good when you consider Michael Waltrip has 91 laps on the set of tires he has on that Country Time Pontiac.
That's still over 137 miles an hour. They qualified a little over 143, so they haven't lost a lot here, and they've run almost 100 laps here at Dover, Delaware.
He's in heavy traffic right now. Patty Moise, who started in the 5th position, the last car on the lead lap, she's running in the 18th position, about to go a lap down.
Cars out of the race. Darrell Waltrip having a mechanical problem. Morgan Shepherd, who hit the wall a ton in turn 2. And Tommy Ellis, we just heard from moments ago, who burned a piston in the Goo Goo Cluster Buick. Along with Rick Mast, who had dropped the cylinder early in the Raven Bosch Buick and has now retired that car from the field. Michael Waltrip showing the way here in Dover, Delaware. But it's going to get interesting very, very quickly as Harry Gant is closing in a hurry. Stay tuned. We'll be back.
Lots of motor oils claim to be tough. Quaker State puts it in writing. Ask your participating service center about Quaker State's tough lubrication guarantee. Only a tough motor oil can make a guarantee this tough. Quaker State is one tough motor oil.
Imagine visiting yourself in the future.
You're me. Surprised? Surprised. I'm beside myself. 23 years later. A few more gray hairs, I see. We've earned every one. We're in this lifestyle, too? How do we pay for all this? Freedom 55.
Freedom 55. Protection today, plus a financial program that works, so one day you won't have to. Freedom 55. Talk to a London Life representative.
Here comes your future husband. I don't believe this.
Introducing the essentials for great hair. A new shampoo, conditioner, and something to remove dandruff flakes from your hair. Here they are, all in one. It's new Per Plus Dandruff Formula for great hair without the fuss.
Back at Dover Downs International Speedway, the Monster Mile hosting Busch Series competition today as we approach the halfway point, and Michael Waltrip is leading, but he is yet to make his scheduled pit stop. And Harry Gann in the car number 7 there runs in second spot. They have been working pretty heavy lap traffic, and Ned, just moments ago, looked like Harry Gann had slowed a little bit.
Well, it looked like he did for just a moment, Jerry, but then he picked back up when they came into that heavy traffic. He might have just paused there for a moment to analyze that traffic ahead and see which way he was going to go.
That may have been because it was pretty heavy, and he felt like that Michael Walker was going to take that Kool-Aid man in there kind of reckless, and he didn't want to be a part of it. But Michael did a good job, got through the traffic.
Well, they're coming up for the halfway mark. 100 laps down and 100 to go.
Now, there has been a history, as you saw Benny Parsons tell you earlier in our track fact, about people running out of fuel here at Dover, Delaware. A couple of years ago, Brad Teague seemed to have this race won, and with a few laps to go, the car coughed, sputtered in turn 3, and coasted down pit road. Harry Gann in the past has run out of fuel here, and Michael Waltrip has now run 100 laps here on a tank of fuel.
Here's Ernie Irvin in the You Can Rent Oldsmobile. He is currently running in the 6th position, so he has moved up through the field quite well.
That car is owned by Charlie Henderson. That's the car that Rick Wilson drove to a victory here in this race a year ago. Brad Teague drove the car earlier in the year at Daytona. Ernie Irvin qualifying that car back in the pack.
23rd position he started, Jerry, so he has moved up to 6th.
Ronald Cooper now beginning to move in somewhat on Ernie Irvin. Cooper now driving the Buick. Remember, we told you earlier in the year he began with the Ford Thunderbird. This is the same T-Bird that he actually wrecked at Rockingham on ESPN. They took the sheet metal off, put Buick Regal on it, and now he is closing in, as is Tommy Houston.
Yeah, they're running 6th, 7th, and 8th in trouble. For the car number 12 of Jeff Burton, a lot of smoke coming from that car. Will we see a caution? Yes, we will, and it's going to be a break for Michael Waltrip because he was due for a pit stop within 10 laps.
And Davey Johnson also getting in possibly some oil and spinning his car number 26 down there. So what a break for Michael Waltrip and Dick Trickle. And it would have been a break for Jeff Burton because he had not pitted yet, but unfortunately he was the reason for the yellow flag. Jeff Burton's smoking Armor meets Buick coming down pit road. Tough break for the youngster there, and the car seems to be rolling down pit road.
Jeff was in 11th in the Busch Grand National point standings going into this race.
He went to the points he went to the pits like maybe that they could fix the car and get back out. Well, it certainly didn't look like they could fix it by the amount of smoke that the car let out when he went down in turn 1. But they're looking like they have some thoughts of fixing it.
We'll wait and see if possibly we know that Waltrip will have to pit. Will Harry Gant come back into the attention of Chris Carrier and the crew?
I think he will, Jerry. I think he'll come in and take on left side tires this time. That's just pure speculation on my part, but we'll see.
I agree with that wholeheartedly, Ned. What do you